Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Tiny Hell, Michigan gets a new name, but it's only for a few days in order to send a message to Washington.
The controversial comments that sidelined a local high school's athletics director have now cost him his job.
A Florida police officer in the Oakland County Jail tonight held without bond and facing sex crime charges. We'll start there here tonight at 6. Good to have you with us. Sean McMaster is a school resource officer in the Jacksonville area.
And he's charged in Michigan with criminal sexual conduct against a member of his own family. The crimes allegedly happened at a home in Oxford. But as Rod Maloney discovered today, this case has a long and very unusual history.
Video arraignment court this morning in Rochester Hills 52-3 Circuit Court. 45-year-old Duval County, Florida school resource officer Sean Michael McMaster appears from the Oakland County Jail before Magistrate Marie Soma, pleading not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct against a family member. The state telling the judge the officer allegedly molested a child along with this man, his stepfather, Larry Orr of Oxford. The state claims through interviews with a suicidal child, they learned the stepfather and son repeatedly assaulted her at an Oxford home. There is also forensic evidence taken from the home, they say, and claim that it bolsters their case. The state put out a warrant for McMaster a month ago and just yesterday extradited him to Michigan. The magistrate ruled him a flight risk, ordered him held without bond. Another magistrate last week ordered stepfather Larry Orr held without bond in the same case. The state also pointing out that he's on the Michigan sex offender list because of a 2010 sex assault conviction. This is his picture from the state website. But none of this is at all as simple as it would seem. The case is actually not new. The defense claims it stems from a bitter divorce. Defense attorney Alona Sharon told Local 4 after the hearing today, quote, the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office investigated this case 3 years ago and declined to prosecute. She said her client receiving, quote, no bond is ridiculous. Mr. McMaster has worked in law enforcement for 20 years. In Florida, it was his job to protect children. He has been thoroughly vetted, end quote. Now, we went back and checked this out, and in fact, this is an old case. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office did investigate, handed it off to Jessica Cooper, the prosecutor. She opted out of any charges in this case, but it has since been picked up by Dana Nessel, the state attorney general, who was prosecuting through the Michigan State Police. Back to you.
Really unusual, Rod. So when can we expect to hear more about the case?
Well, there's a probable cause hearing scheduled for July 1st. On July 8th, they're expecting a preliminary hearing, but the defense is saying that that is probably not going to happen that date, and that the prelim in this case is not going to be short and sweet. It's going to take days to try and sort this whole thing out.
Okay, keep us posted, Rod. Devin.
Pretty provocative image that is hitting the national news outlets, and it was taken in Tiny Hell, Michigan. A comedian and YouTuber trying to make a political statement claims that he has purchased the community and renamed it. What else could Steve Garagiola do but go straight to hell to find out what the heck is going on?
John Colon can always find a way to get people to talk about his little town of Hell, Michigan. But today, this thriving metropolis is in the national news thanks to a twist of politics. So there's no misunderstanding here. The sale of Hell is actually temporary, with nominal compensation.
It was honestly a smile and a handshake that we're going to do Hell, Gay Hell, for 3 days in honor of Gay Pride Month.
YouTube comedian Elijah Daniel bought 3 days of naming rights to the town of Hell and changed the name to Gay Hell. He says it's a statement against President Trump's decision that no U.S. embassy may fly the rainbow flag. Daniel says he wants to encourage his young YouTube followers to become politically active. We found a typical crowd in Hell today. Families snacking on ice cream or playing putt-putt golf, and no one here today with a problem over the temporary name change.
And I think it's fine if he has the wherewithal and the motivation to engage younger people in the political process. Maybe that's a positive thing.
John Colon, who actually owns this tiny metropolis, says it's not a political statement on his part, and that about 70% of the reaction online and on the phone has been positive.
But there's been about 30% that have just how horrible this is and that you would do something like that. I'm surprised how much we have gotten. I mean, kind of threats and everything else.
John says Hell is a place to laugh and have fun, no matter what name you give it. Mostly, he doesn't understand why we can't all just get along.
I know, that's exactly how I feel.
And that's John Colon. He's been in our community his whole life. He says he doesn't understand when people can't work things out. He says, you know what, come to hell, we'll have an ice cream cone, we'll talk about it, we'll figure it all out. Tomorrow, the town reverts to its old name. Reporting live, I'm Steve Garagiola, Local 4.
Steve, does the ice cream melt quicker in hell is what I need to know.
Well, now that I've been to hell, I can tell you the ice cream was pretty good there,
Good
so
deal.
I'm not so worried about going back.
I love it. Great tale, great story. All right, Steve.
Ice cream makes it all the better. All right, now to an update to a story we brought you last week. Port Huron Schools has fired the administrator who made racially offensive comments to students. The district confirmed assistant principal and athletics director Greg Wagner made comments about slavery when talking about behavior to a group of high school students. Port Huron Schools said it has completed an investigation into the comments and it apologizes to students and their families.
2 medical marijuana facilities are coming to Mount Clemens, and one is moving into the Gibraltar Trade Center. The owner of the Trade Center is going to spend $15 million to make the facility ready for growing and making marijuana products. A license was also awarded for a medical marijuana retail store on Groesbeck Highway near Cass. That move will make Mount Clemens about $65,000 a year in licensing fees.
Caught on camera, 2 thieves in Roseville stealing from a local business and leaving the scene in a stolen car. Take a look. These 2 men got away with a leaf blower and a weed whacker from S&B Seasonal Service in Roseville. This happened about 2 weeks ago. Surveillance photos here show the men stealing from a trailer parked on Little Mac Avenue near 13 Mile and their stolen getaway car, which is a 2018 tan Honda Accord. If you recognize them or know anything, call Roseville Police.
In a critical incident like a mass shooting, we of course know that seconds count when trying to save lives. It's because many people have died from blood loss.
And there's a campaign making its way around the country called Stop the Bleed, giving people the necessary tools to save a life. And as Nick Monticelli reports today, there are more of those tools in Roseville.
It has been said that good things come in small packages. Well, now we can say it too. Henry Ford McComb donated a box of 12 Stop the Bleed kits to the city of Roseville.
So this is a tactical tourniquet.
And training as well to officers like Justin Forrest.
So if Jake has an injury right here above his elbow, I'm going to fasten it like so. It's all Velcro, and then this object here is called the windlass. This is what tightens the tourniquet once you've already applied the Velcro. You twist it until it's actually supposed to be kind of painful for the person who's injured.
In fact, Officer Forrest has already used the tourniquet he now carries in his pocket.
It could help, and it has helped. We've had incidents where I actually applied a tourniquet to someone who had been shot.
The Stop the Bleed campaign was born after the Boston Marathon bombing, when many died not from their injuries but from blood loss. Stephanie Bouza from Henry Ford McComb says that is common.
Quite often. So that's why this campaign came about, so that they can control the bleeding, stop the bleeding, save your limb, save your life. Ultimately, if you'd rather lose an arm versus lose your life, that's what we're here to do.
Now, there's a good chance when you think about how these will be used, you might be thinking about a mass shooting, but in reality, there's a good chance there will be more applications for you at home. Accidents that you don't want to happen, but these will make a difference.
Lawnmower accidents, kitchen accidents. You're working with a chainsaw cutting down a tree and you slice your arm. I mean, this is the biggest misconception, is that people only need this for mass shooting situations, and that's not true. I mean, it can happen in everyday life.
In Roseville, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
So true, unfortunately.